Welcome to What the Biz, where we talk about building successful businesses, balancing life, and all the WTB in between. With your hosts,
I'm Bridget Vector.
And I'm Dan Prochko. Yo, what up? Thank you for joining in to another episode of What the Biz. We're going to be talking about AI slop today, but probably not in the way that you think. It's not about like horrible content. It's way more dire. So tune in. Not apocalyptic, but like, wow, is all I have to say about it. So excited to get into it. Before we do that, hello, Bridget. How are you? What have you been up to?
I'm good. We are actually getting a head start on our Q2 initiatives. So we've kind of closed out Q1. Like we accomplished the things in our 90-day planning that we wanted to do. And so we're diving headfirst into Q2 now, which is I kind of like being ahead. Like it's nice. And we are getting ready to launch our own training course for bookkeepers and accountants. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, it has been a long time coming. It's been in the works, and the team and I decided, let's just do it. Like we know the industry needs it, and let's just make it happen. So I'm
awesome.
super excited. Yeah,
I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear more about how that goes. That's really, really cool.
Yeah,
really, really cool. As I've shared in other episodes, we launched our course, and it actually went live like just today, a day of recording. Today, the course went live. And of course, it doesn't go live without a hiccup, which is good that it happened today on day one. It's okay. It's good because that means if it happened now, I'm not going to have something catastrophic a couple days down the line. So I'm happy about that. It was something minor. Just the setting wasn't set right. So nobody could see the course, which is really funny because once they signed up, they all got access and they literally told me, I have access. Thank you. But for some reason today, all of a sudden, the new the final like last second people didn't have access. And I'm like, what is going on? Like I've set all this up. Other people said they have access. What is it? I get on support and they're like, oh, you don't have these checked. And I'm like, when did I uncheck them? It's, it's that like the gremlins in the system are changing settings kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I swear I did this. I swear I did this. So.
Hey, at least you're on a system with great support.
Yeah, no, that's very true. It is wonderful support, the system we're on. And yeah, love it. Get on a video call if I want to, or just do live chat. Either way, the way I need it, it's wonderful. And they're so fast. So I love it. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Phenomenal.
I'll take it. Yeah, so let's jump in. You found this, brought this up, and I thought this was really, really interesting. So yeah, why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, so this has actually been a topic I think it's across businesses, right? Like I don't think this is just an accounting topic. But this article that I found actually it was a survey and research that they did with Dext. They actually surveyed 500 accountants and bookkeepers. And what I found really interesting about this is just talk. Like it's talk that we have in the accounting industry that we know this is happening. And so this article is specifically talking about that half of the respondents that filled out this survey said that they are aware of businesses that have suffered direct financial losses after acting on incorrect or misleading AI-generated advice. And this is including they've overpaid, they've missed tax allowances, they've had penalties, they've had fines, compliance issues. And this is a growing trend that we are seeing with business owners because AI is relied on. It's kind of used as the new Google in some ways. And there are serious financial implications coming from following bad advice being generated in the AI world.
I mean, that's insane. Like, I think the piece for me is that it's like half of firms' clients have suffered a direct financial loss. Like that's 50% of major firms have seen their clients suffer direct financial loss due to AI. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say that. Who's checking the work? I mean, I'm laughing here because it's like I'm embarrassed for them a little bit. It's like, who's checking the work?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've said it 100 times that, AI needs to be checked.
Yes.
It doesn't know what's going on, I don't.
Yes. So this actually goes on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my quick question for you is where is AI actually used in the whole because this is talking about financial losses. So it's in the either accounting, tracking, bookkeeping. It's where is AI being used in that whole area right now?
So a lot of the softwares are becoming very AI heavy. And there's actually another article that we're going to talk about today that is talking about some of the slop like coming out of that. And this article also talks about the amount of time that is being spent cleaning up the AI related errors. We are seeing this every single day ourselves in the QuickBooks software and that our clients are using, and we're finding the errors that like are coming in or the cleanups coming to us, because it is kind of marketed as a system that will do it for you, right? There is high cost in the errors of the do it for you from like the AI land. And then the other aspect that I think is really telling, and it isn't because I think people are trying to be negligent with AI, but they're in this study, like 70%, 76% of accountants and bookkeepers are seeing an increase in clients using AI tools to even seek out advice, right? So they're looking for financial or tax or bookkeeping advice. And I think this is leading a lot of business owners to think that they are getting the correct answers from those AI tools. But at the same time, right, they're also using that advice to challenge professional advice. And
that I thought was crazy surprising. It's like, wait, I'm going to trust the machine more than the expert.
right.
You know, it's like, just because this machine gives me an answer immediately, like there's something like we have this thing, humans, it's a fallacy. It's a horrible bias that we have is because it's recent and it's fast, it must be correct.
Yes.
Or it's the thing that I give a lot of weight to because it's right here in front of me right now and I get it immediately and it gives me citations. So it must be correct, you know, and that's insane.
Yes.
That's insane.
It is. So like, let's give some more stats out of this because I think it is very telling. Okay. 68% saw a rise in clients suggesting that AI could replace the need for accounting services altogether, which is like mind blowing to me. I think there are aspects that AI can support, but a full replacement, we aren't quite there yet. And I think this growing reliance is just making the errors, the sharp rise that we're seeing in errors is because of the growing reliance, right? So 7%, only 7% of the people that responded to this said that they have never encountered mistakes driven by AI advice. 7%.
I have a feeling, I think somebody's not checking something well enough. I think those 7%, either those 7% have something super, super simple. Okay. Really simple.
Like they're really not using it that much. Yeah.
Right. Or they're not double checking anything and just going with it and saying it's fine.
Yeah. Or if they're using this stat more on those that are challenging them, like, because this is kind of out of the challenging portion. So maybe they're not encountering as many clients challenging with the advice they're getting. But further, they're seeing that mistakes daily. And 29% are encountering them on a weekly basis, like big mistakes coming from AI related errors.
So what I'm hearing is like most of this is like when we trust the system to auto categorize, you know, that's a huge portion of this is it's just categorizing and doing things and we're just trusting it. That's I mean, just looking at the stats of the article, I mean, I should just share this actually. Like, yeah, this is coming from Accountancy Age. They're doing the DEX study, but incorrect business expenses. So half of all the errors are coming from incorrect business expenses. So they're incorrectly organizing elements. Miscalculations, okay, is another 40%. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's massive to be off by 4. I mean, to have 40. Oh my God, it's just crazy. I mean, I think it just goes to, I mean, we've talked about it week after week, right? Is, you know, we were talking about using AI as your advisor. And it's like, look, that's fine, but it doesn't know your situation. You know, it doesn't have the context for what's going on within your business, you know, and, you know, I mean, it's in my brain, it's like, okay, am I going to go to AI with like a photo and a video of some medical condition and be like, cure me?
Right.
Or and like trust it, because it might say something like cut your arm off, or do I go to my doctor and actually get an expert who has studied this stuff and understands context and understands how to diagnose, etc. It's no different. I mean, AI can do so much, but it doesn't know everything in the context of everything going on. So I don't know.
Correct.
I just, yeah.
So I think how this article ends is very interesting, and it's been a hot topic, right, around AI. So obviously those in the accounting world are expecting the risks to just grow as businesses and business owners continue to rely on especially the advice. So I can say this tax season, we have seen and heard more business owners coming forward with like, well, why can't I write off? And it's like some just crazy thing where it's like, okay, where did you get the idea that you could somehow write that off in your business? And it's not that we don't want everybody to get the most tax deduction as possible, but we also don't want you to go to jail, right? So there's like a line here a little bit. But like we're seeing in the industry, and I think we're warning against this. Like if business owners are going to continue to rely only on the AI tools and not have professional oversight, the industry is kind of saying like, you could potentially set yourself up for business failure. Like that's where you're going by not having like the oversight that's needed. Another thing is you could end up with fraudulent claims, fines and penalties. You could get greater scrutiny, right? Like this one's talking about Canada specifically, but like the IRS is totally like, this is US based too, right?
Yeah.
And so there is a question mark. So 94% of the people that responded to this said, like, can we get regulations or restrictions or somehow get something in place to limit the detrimental impact that bad advice could have on businesses? And like I said, I don't think business owners are doing it from a bad place. It's just AI is becoming so front and center, and it's growing so rapidly without rules and regulations around it. Like softwares are just being able to adapt it without any sort of oversight, even within the software, that it's kind of scary, right? Like it's just this big snowball. And when is enough, and how do we kind of get it to a place where everybody can be safe using AI, not like hurting themselves in the long run with it?
Right. I mean, when you have over 90% of an industry saying, hey, we need regulation, maybe people should, maybe our Congress people should take action on some kind, I mean, that's huge. I mean, how often do you ever see that large a percentage of any industry saying, yes, we need this, especially saying, regulate us, please, it's crazy. Yeah.
And obviously I'm not in the medical field, right?
Right.
I'm an accountant. So, but if I went to look for articles, I can guarantee you there are studies from a medical field saying the same thing. There needs to be regulations. Like you brought up your point about like, what am I going to do? Just go have AI diagnose me? And it isn't just us. Like there's so many industries, I'm sure, that are kind of hitting the brakes here going, hold on. Like, are we putting the AI cart way in front of the horse before we have anything to protect anybody? Like, I don't know, business, degrees, certifications, like the specialties exist and they're regulated for a reason, right? Like you can't just call yourself a CPA. You can't just call yourself an MD. Like there's a reason why you have to go through the amount of testing that you have to go through to get those accreditations. So AI probably needs some regulations to not just like eliminate all of that.
Right.
Like, there's a reason for those kinds of things. So,
but I think this just points out even more that you're not going to lose a job because of AI. Okay. I know we're hearing certain things, but really we're not, because the solution to all of this, okay, sure, I get AI is going to get smarter, but the solution to all of this anyway is you still need a human to double check it. And that's the solution. It's you have to double check it. And honestly, double checking takes way less time than doing the work. So, I know it sounds like, if listening, it's like, well, why would I double check it if I'm going to use it to do all this? It's supposed to save me time. It does. Like, it does not take as long to do it, because if you're going to go and categorize, let's just say all yourself, I'm going to double check it myself, because I know me, like, I'm going to spend my own time double checking it anyway. Okay. You have to reconcile in the end. So it's just like, and if I'm talking on a turn, let me know, but it's like, if AI did the work, somebody's got to reconcile that and double check it. So hearing that there's all these errors means there wasn't that human component, and that's all that was needed, I think, to resolve all this. So in my mind, it's don't not use AI, use it by all means. I mean, we use it all the time. We're going to double check it. Just get the human element involved. You're still saving yourself time, and you're still getting a lot of efficiency out of it. Just put that piece in there. I don't know if you have any other, solutions to it. I mean, outside of, all the regulation stuff, but I mean, even with the regulations, I think the human element solves it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've touched on this in other episodes where we've talked about AI, right? I am not knocking AI at all. We love it. We use it every single day. We see the power of it. We see the value of it. But it comes down to, we also know the output we would be expecting from it. So like, if something is blatantly wrong, it's not just going to a client, right? Like if we're running special dashboards for our clients and we see like, wait a second, like that's definitely off, right? That's the expertise part. So I think I'm definitely not like crushing AI or saying like, oh, nobody should use it. Absolutely use it. The value comes from then the human relationships we've talked about, right?
Yep.
I know my clients' businesses. AI does not know my clients' businesses. Like that's a personal relationship. We have a very structured checklist. It's called our peace of mind checklist. We go through it every single month for every single client, and it is every area that we know that something from inside the system could have broke because of the AI that they're implementing. We developed it because we know what's breaking. So we have a peace of mind checklist, right? And then to further it, so for those in the industry or any industry that are like, oh, it's going to replace me. No, this gives you the opportunity to really be more valuable to those you are serving. Like, this is a tool for us, right? But it comes down to having a professional, the eyes on it, checking it, or having a way to check it, even if you're not engaged with a professional. And I think you nailed it with that, right? AI is not bad, but you want to have a way to make sure it's doing the right thing.
So I think that's a great segue into our next article. We've got like a theme today. It's going to be AI heavy today, just because like we just saw this and we're like, we got to talk about this. But our next article or our next news element is coming from CFO Dive. And its KPMG study found a massive disconnect between how business owners think AI is being used versus how employees actually use it. The data is showing that 57% of workers admit to making mistakes in their own work due to AI errors. I mean, this just goes right back to what we were just talking about. Almost 60% of workers know they're making errors and admit to it. And more alarmingly, 44% admit they are knowingly using AI improperly at work. For example, like uploading sensitive financial data to public AI platforms just to save time. Holy cow. I mean, I'm not surprised. Okay. Like just to put my little piece, I'm not surprised. I mean, we all take the path of least resistance. You know what I mean? And if it's easy to just upload something and get, what we think is the answer, that's great. I think this is more telling about the organizations themselves, that there aren't more, guardrails on some of this stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think on all that?
I instantly think, ouch. And this also leads me to probably something that all business owners should be doing with their own due diligence. So I don't know that we're talking about it today, but I know in an upcoming episode, we're going to be talking about kind of like the power of the outsourced like world, right? And this is a perfect thing that should be added into normal conversation when you are vetting somebody. Like, what is your AI policy? Like, how do you protect my business data from the open sourced AI world? We have very strict rules inside my company that client data does not get input into like open AI sources. And if there is anything like spreadsheet related that we are like working on or like trying to work things through, everything client related is removed from said financial data that we are working with. It is saved in a brand new sheet. Like it isn't even like we've gotten rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have no idea how smart that platform can be, right? So we early on adopted very strict rules around AI usage, and I think this is a great opportunity to have that conversation. So if you do work with partners, right? Like, what do you do to protect my business data? Like, what is your AI policies? How do you use it? And I think more and more is going to come from this, especially around service agreements. It's something I've been thinking about. Like we mentioned in ours that we use like cloud-based technology, blah, 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 blah. But like, we don't really dive into AI because it wasn't as mainstream as what it is now, I guess, when I originally put like our service agreements together. So I don't know, Dan, have you made huge changes to like your agreements, or do you just have like your internal policies?
We have our internal policy, but we also have a public policy that we share, when asked, what is your AI policy? And I know we've talked about this on a past episode, like create a policy for how you're going to use AI. I forget what episode number that was, but I think this is really an opportunity for leaders, to emerge and start creating these things within organizations, even small organizations. We don't think it doesn't make a big impact, but I literally just yesterday got an email from a client that was like, hey, I want to move forward with local SEO pages, but I know for these to work, they need to be really, specific to the area, be really unique. And so I don't want you using AI. Are you going to use AI to do this or whatever? And it's like, that's a very interesting point. Like this is why we need these policies, is because clients are thinking about this already, or there are businesses already thinking about it. I mean, if you're already using AI, then your other people you serve are using AI too. Like it's just done. Like it's like we've said already, it's disseminated through society at this point as part of our culture. It's here. So have that policy and understand what those guardrails are, and know that you have ways to hold people accountable to it. I think that's really, really important, because that's what's missing here. I mean, the fact that you've got 44% admitting they've used it improperly, that's insane. That's absolutely nuts.
Well, and what's the other part of this? 64% admitted to putting less effort into their work, knowing they can lean on AI. And 58% said they rely on AI output without thoroughly assessing the information. Oh my. Like, I guess I'm going to be very thankful, because like we implemented our policies early, fast, and like the peace of mind checklist I was talking about, right? Like that instantly, it can't get through checks like this. So I don't know if you have staff.
That's why they're mistakes. AI, this is exactly why there are mistakes. It's because people just rely on the output thinking it's right from the start. So, I think there's just going to echo. And so, I think we've kind of hit this one. I think we're going to hear a bit of the same on the next, just a little bit.
Well, I think this all just plays together, right? So I was mentioning to you, Dan, that the word or the phrase AI slop is like not something that I have heard a lot, but now I know it's everywhere. Like since we started talking about it, I've seen that phrase absolutely everywhere.
I think it came out of marketing fastest, because I think what a lot of people found out, especially those like that were trying to make money on YouTube with content, et cetera, was AI has given me a way to create content quickly. And the algorithms, at least at the very start of AI, didn't have things in place to protect against somebody creating a lot of fast content and not high quality. And when I say not high quality, I don't mean like it's not polished. These videos were looking polished. They had an AI voice, but an AI voice doesn't sound horrible, through it. It's a good audio quality is what I'm getting at. I don't mean like cadence or anything. It's good audio quality. They had high quality imagery from like stock photography and stock video and whatever else. And then, they had a script written by AI. It's just slop coming out there. There was nothing in it that was real substance or anything new. It was taking nothing unique. but the algorithms were rewarding it. And so we just had so much created. So it came from like content and marketing of like, it's just slop. There's nothing actually here, you know? And that's pretty much where it came from, where it's just irrelevant content, but it was being rewarded because there were no checks in place on a lot of those content systems, you know, Facebook feed, Instagram feed, YouTube, etc. So it's popping up everywhere. Now a lot less, I'll be honest. I mean, you can still see it. It's still there, but it tends to be on videos that have actually, or on content where you can tell there's a little bit of human involved, unless you're down some other deep river where you're looking for it. But that's neither here nor there. So let's move into our last topic of today. From FinTech CA out of Canada. I think this is pulling from the same survey, the same Dex survey, actually, as our first article. But out here, while AI is marketed, from this one, basically, while AI marketed as a time saver, it's currently acting as a productivity tax, in quotes, on professional accountants. The data is saying 93% of accountants now spend a significant portion of their month fixing AI-driven mistakes, which is what you talked about. And then roughly 40% of practitioners are losing 4 to 10 hours per week unraveling incorrect data generated by AI.
Yeah, and I think where the industry is seeing this the most is not so much for the clients that we are actively managing day to day. It's more on the clients that for the tax side, like the tax preparer sees them once a year, right? And they're handing them a pile of, I guess, like AI slop, right? Like they've relied on the system. It isn't accurate. So they're spending all of this time. And we're seeing it more, as I mentioned, in the cleanups. And I think and I don't remember if it was this article or the other one that referenced the same survey. But they had a statement in here that is very much how we are thinking about it with AI. And I think any business can think about it this way, right? I think the conversation is shifting more from how can AI help us? Like, how can AI help our job get easier? Or how can we do more and bring more productive? To now more of a place of like, how do we stop AI from tanking our clients' businesses? Like, how do we put that like stop measure in to protect either our current clients or our future clients from being a victim of like the bad that's coming out of it, or the bad advice, or like, I think it said in here, the financial wreckage. Like how do we become right? That like stop point of like, AI is great, just don't let it like ruin you. And I think every industry should have that place, right? Like, how do we become more of the advisor piece to those that we are serving?
Yeah, I think well said right there. Just make sure we put that human piece in, be that advisor, double check what's going on with AI, understand its limitations. I mean, my other takeaway from this is basically like, if I'm a small business doing my own books and I see that QuickBooks or Wave apps or whatever one you use, ZenBooks or whatever it's called now, FreshBooks, if they say anything, it's like automatic categorization, double check everything.
Yeah.
Just double check daily. Do not assume it's getting it right, because it's going to bite you in the butt. That's pretty much what I'm taking away from all of it.
And a lot of the small business owners that we talk to, they're like, well, we just don't know what is wrong because we don't speak accounting. And we're like, that's fair. Like it is very hard to check that when you don't really know what you're looking for to be errors.
Good point. Yeah.
So, even the most minor things can just, if the system thinks it was right once, it's going to think it's right all of the time in AI, and it's just going to compile on top of itself.
I have totally noticed that. I remember back being in Wave before AI was a big thing. It was doing, basically exactly that. If you marked something as correct in a category, it held on to that. Even after you corrected it, it would hold on to it forever. It didn't matter that you've corrected it 100 times. The fact that you initially put it in the wrong category, from there on into the future, it was going to put it in the wrong category. Oh, and it annoyed me so much. But anyway, we don't have to go down that path. That kind of thing. I'm sure it's a little better now, but I think the point here is double check it all.
Yeah. That actually makes me think of something. So Dan, I don't know if you want to throw it in the show notes, like at the end of this, but we do have errors, like I don't even know how to, it's like a resource, right? So that business owners can go in and kind of look for the top errors like that we check in our monthly review. It's a way that you can, as a business owner, go into your books and see if you have anything in the
for
key
sure.
categories that we know are the most popular. So it's a great self-check resource. So yeah, we'll drop that in the show notes so you can
I think that's
grab
a
that
great
resource.
resource.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Well, now's the time for us to move into our What the Biz section, where we're going to share a personal experience that we had. There's either a win or a fail, or I don't know, maybe just a WTB in the middle somewhere. Okay. So mine today is, I got to pull it up. I got to remind myself. Okay. It's something so tiny that I think many people take it for granted. And I love it so much, and it's online ordering. And I know everybody's going to be like, wait, but you've done this. It's been around. Why are we just talking about it? Okay, here's what's going on. It's lunchtime. We're getting into lunchtime. It's crazy busy, okay, everywhere. It's weekend, Saturday. It's busy lunch. Everywhere's packed, but I need food to go for like 4 or 5 people, okay? And it's like, great, I could show up, but I'm going to wait in line for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I'm going to order, and I'm going to probably wait another 10, 15 because they're making it on the spot for me, etc. Online ordering for the win. I know this sounds so simple, but it's like, specifically, we ordered from Raising Cane's, and it's a brand new restaurant that opened up. I think we just talked about it a couple episodes ago. Everybody wanted to go there, and I'm like, I'll go. And somebody's like, it's going to be crazy. You should order online. I'm like, what? Of course I should. So I show up to pick up my food, and it's already waiting on the shelf. It's right there. They even tell you the time it's ready. Okay. Now look, I've ordered from plenty of places like Little Caesars. You go and put in your little pin. It's wonderful. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's just there, but they tell you the time. You show up, I grab my bags, I look at the line, it's out the door. And I'm like, here I am. I've wasted no time. The experience was awesome. I got the exact order that I wanted to place. Okay. I didn't have to deal with any miscommunications. Like, it was wonderful. Now, I'm not saying let's replace all restaurants with that, but it's like, it was just a win. And I just have to say it. So it's like thinking about those little customer experiences of like, friction is great at certain points, at certain things. Like we've talked about that before. But what are things where it's just like, why am I making it so difficult? Like I see small businesses all the time. They're like, well, I don't want to do that because they might put in this and then they'll get like a double coupon and like, oh, there's like, well, then just simplify it all. Why just simplify it so you can do it? It's going to make a better experience for everybody and done. Why is it so complicated? Stop making things complicated. Order online, pick it up. I'm out the door. You make a ton of money. You know, I don't know. This experience just made me feel really good.
I have relied on online ordering for a very long time. I don't know if it's the impatient part of me or just the like, I feel like it makes the business more it makes it more efficient for them, right? Like I honestly don't think it replaces the staff they have, to be honest, because you still need people to prepare and to package and to still serve. You still have people coming in, right? So it's not replacing that, but their productivity can be higher because you're not having to personally take the order every single time. You're still gonna have people walk in.
I think it does totally, because you don't have to pay the wait staff. You don't have to, there's no lag in somebody ordering at the register. It's happening behind the scenes. Your team just makes it in the middle of everything else. It's added bonus. I think the place where online ordering falls flat are like the delivery apps and everything because they take such a huge cut. You know, and so like I love online ordering too. Done it a lot, and I tend to do it. I don't use any of those delivery apps. Like I think in my whole life I've used them. I mean, they've been around for a good more than a decade, to be honest. I think 10 times in my entire life I've used something just out of necessity because I either didn't have a car or it was just too far, whatever it was. I tend to order from places that have their own online ordering where they have figured it out. They've set it up, and I'm ordering directly from them. And fine, if it's still Grubhub's thing, but it's white labeled, the business has made that decision and they've decided that that's profitable for them. But I'm doing it through their site and their portal that they want me to do it through, not through one of those apps. And I love it. And I think I'm with you. I think it leads to better outcomes
and so many do have it on their own apps or their own sites. Like
there are many now. There are many that do. Yeah. Yeah.
So a fun fact about this, and maybe we'll just have this be our what the biz moment of the week, and I'll save mine for next week. But I think they should do a study on the amount of marriages that online ordering has saved. Because the fact that my husband does not have to like go through a drive-through lane and like try to like repeat everybody's order, he literally pulls up and says a code, like even if it's Jimmy John's or like I don't even, whatever place it is, like you know, like Raising Cane's or whatever it is, he like says a code and he's not like, think about in the car when we were younger, right? And like everybody's in the car, like yelling to the front what they want. And then they're like, oh, wait, no, I want this instead. And like, I feel like males probably deal with that a little not as comfortable as females. Like just for personal experience, I could be wrong.
Which,
but I
you know, this is funny. 100% with you.
A lot of like food pickup fights.
Yeah. Oh, I can remember growing up that McDonald's lane. My mom is always just like, "Do you know what you want? We're not getting. Do you know what you want? You've seen the menu. Do you know what you want? You know, like it's just like it's like." And we would know before we got into the drive-through lane. We would know what we wanted before we got in the drive-through lane. Which back in that time period, there was no internet and smartphones, so it's like we had to know the McDonald's menu in our brains before going there. Which back then there were so many commercials, we knew what we wanted. You know, I remember the Arch Deluxe came out, and bam, done. I knew my order anyway. Whatever. This just hit me on another thing is, you know, and Raising Cane's I think is doing a lot of things right, because I remember that order was my third time ever at Raising Cane's, but the first time I think I told you about it. Went through the drive-through, great experience. The menu is so simple. They don't have 500 combinations and 500 things. You basically just get strips and fries, and it's just how many do you want? And it's so easy to get through and out. Like, that's what that whole thing just reminded me of just now. Is like, this is why McDonald's was a pain in the butt back in the day. They had all these combinations, and like a lot of restaurants, there's all these different combinations of things. Like, I'm thinking Jimmy John's. Holy cow. They got 30-some sandwiches, which I think they have to, but that's a different thing. But, like, that's why it's difficult to make an order in a drive-through lane. And that's what drives us crazy when we're trying to take 7 orders from a driver's seat from different people.
Exactly.
If all I had to say was like, what? Okay, I need a 3-piece, a 4-piece, a 6-piece, a 3-piece, a 4-piece, a 3-piece. Cool. You got that? Great. Done. Like, that's easier. So much easier.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other place that I see this has benefited me directly too, and it is around the online ordering. So my daughter has been big in volleyball, and there are tournament weekends where like it is literally a madhouse. There is no parking anywhere because you have 8 trillion people trying to get into one building. Yeah. And so if you get a parking spot, you are not leaving. It is like, we are not moving from that spot. So the online ordering and delivery options for those moments where it's like, okay, she's in between games, she needs something to eat, and I am not losing that darn parking spot. It's like,
that's wonderful.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Man, I could talk forever about things that are online ordering. Parking. Have you ever been to a city where the app tells you where there's an open parking spot?
Yes. I've seen that. I'm not great with it because we don't use it often, right? Like, we're not in a big city. And I'm always like, wait, what is that? What is that thing I want for parking again?
Yeah. I know San Francisco has it. That's a place where I saw it. I think some other, I don't know if Chicago has it, but I know San Francisco had it when we were there. And it was really cool because it's like, okay, where do we want to park? And it literally is showing us green on the map. Here's where you can park. There's an open spot. You know, somehow they know this because every spot has its own number. That's why. It's not like you have parking zones. It's literally every spot has its own number. And so you are claiming a spot. And it's really cool because you can reserve a spot. That's what's really cool about those systems. You can reserve your parking ahead of time.
So what happens if somebody else parks there if you've reserved it?
But they can't. Because they can't, the system locks them out. They cannot pay the meter, nor can they pay
in it. Like, what if they pull in the spot?
Well, they'll get ticketed. You call
because it's associated with your
car and your driver's and your license plate. So they would get ticketed for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a whole step. a whole different step and a different type of living, and but I like it too. You know, it's
Yeah.
great because
Yeah.
if I'm like you said, like volleyball weekend, I know it's gonna be crazy. Let me reserve that parking spot ahead of time.
And that's
I'm
a
gonna
moment
get
where
it.
they could probably make even more money because
Yeah.
there are some of us like that are saying, I'll pay a little extra to make sure I have
Yeah.
a spot and I don't have to like fight for all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know in those situations they do surge pricing throughout the day, so
Mhm.
different streets cost different amounts, and because of the data they have, they can literally say this one block is going to cost more than this other block. So like if a block has got a lot of restaurants on it, but then like the next, like literally like the cross street doesn't have any restaurants on it, they'll make that cross street cost a little less than the street with the restaurants because they know people are going to want to park on that street with the restaurants, but it entices people to park 1, 2, or 3 blocks away to get slightly less pricing, but it relieves congestion around the city because they can guide people to other places that aren't in high demand,
That's smart, actually.
which is really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, I think that's a great place to end today. Thank you for joining in. Bridget and I know your time is super valuable, and spend it here with us feels so great. Hope you found something fun and cool or new in this episode. If you did, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Tell us what it was. It's really the best way to help others find the show and build their own path to freedom through those reviews. But if you've got a hurdle or a topic you want us to explore, head on over to whatthebiz.com, drop us a line or even a voicemail. We love hearing your ideas. Might just make it into an episode. But until next time, keep building, stay proactive, and we'll see you on the next one.